Can you smell it? The shilling is in the air tonight. We've got more headlights. So NAO liked the first review so much they sent me another pair. So this is their K1 Pro H4 series LED headlight. So just a heads up, this is a sponsored video by NAO, of course, so take that for what you will. So this is a Chinese LED headlight manufacturer company, so keep that in mind. Part of the reason why the price is so low. Generally, light output is pretty good. They've been getting better at making the beams safe for drivers. So usually the only downfall is just interference. Generally, the voltage regulators inside are just really noisy, so you might get static on some radio stations. But besides that, not a whole lot to complain about. This kit comes with 2 bulbs, plug and play, all that good business. Nice simple packaging, straight to the point. That's what we like. We are here today to look at some wonderful bulbs. So these got your average specs on them. 72 watt for the pair, 7600 lumens, 6000 Kelvin brightness, so they're about white, and it's an H4 bulb. Not a whole lot to them. So the important part, how much does it cost? This kit right here is $35 shipped to your door. Yeah, cheap, very cheap. They are plug and play, so they come with the H4 plug that you would use to. You plug it right into the factory spec and you're good to go. So, you know, we've got an active cooling fan system, so it should cool a little better than passive systems do. As far as the actual bulb design goes, it's got the proper low beam cutoff. So this is what this guy is we got our low beam, because without that, you're going to be blinding the crap out of oncoming drivers. So it's very important that we have that shield in some form. Now, there is also one other thing to notice that I found is rather important for not blinding people, and that is the height, or at least the style of the LED chip. So when we look at this, bring that brightness down. These are flip chips. These LED chips are flip style, and you notice they're very flat. The other important thing is there's no dome on them. There's no glass bulb or anything, and that is rather important because the ones that have domes will actually reflect. It'll kind of reflect the light around. So when your low beam turns on, it'll shine on the high beam, and then the high beam will start scattering into the high. So it'll look like your high beams are on all the time, and that's not good. So it's really important that you have very flat chips. So we've got flat, we've got our low beam cover, and got our H4 design. So the only thing to worry about when checking if this fits your vehicle, first, is it an H4 bulb? And 2, do you have the length in the back to fit this fan? This fan is rather big, so you need to make sure that you have the appropriate space for it to fit. Another thing, this thing, one of the other, some really obnoxious, I don't know if it was actually a NAO employee, but someone was being real, asshat happy and telling me that these things come off, and yeah, they do. You got to squeeze the crap out of them, you got to squeeze hard enough you think you're going to break it, but it's just friction fit with some rubber O-rings. This is useful for the install process, so you put the ring in first, then you put your bulb in. And this style is cool because you can rotate it to any degree that you want so that you can get the proper light pattern, but you really got to remember which way they go on. So do one at a time so that you remember that the upper peg should face away from the cord. It's important you get that right. If you put the LEDs in backwards, you're not going to have a very good pattern. So anyway, we're going to test that in our good old Honda Civic over here. This is a 2000. It's got, factory headlight housings, H4, all that goodness. Alright, so we're going to pop the hood and come over to our headlight housing. So for mine, I have access in the back right here. So this right here is a fanless design. It's just cooling fins. They still work. So the biggest problem is trying to get the clip around the headlight, because the cooling fins are so big you just really can't do it. So it's really important that you find a bulb that you can just pull out. Some of them, this one rotates and comes out. And then we can come down here, push our thing in, and pop it out so that we can get our little adapter plate. So this one is a plastic adapter. Okay, so this was the aux beam bulb. I forget exactly what chips they are, but notice how thin they are. Very important. They're also slightly offset to match the factory design. So compare that to our aux beam over here. So with that one we have a metal design. Again, it's a little harder to remove that clip, but there you can kind of see the differences between the two. As long as they have that shield, that's all you really need. Alrighty, I guess just for giggles, we'll turn the lights on and see what they look like. So this right here is our low beam. It's a little hard to tell, but when you rotate it, notice how it doesn't shine up at all. Very important, it only reflects down. And then when you turn your high beams on, now notice that the high beam is on and the low beam is off. So when we flip this up, still not direct reflection up, but you know, you get the idea. Let's see what the other bulb looks like. And here's our new NAO bulb. So there you go. See that we have a nice cutoff there. Flip it upside down. Not really getting any stuff from the top. Very nice. And you can kind of hear that fan going. It's not very loud. Honestly, it's more loud inside the car for some reason. It's just the way that the sound works and how well insulated the cars are. You hear them more. You only hear it when the engine's off anyway. And here's our high beam. So now you can see the outer bulb is on, and it kind of comes up through the top. Alright, lovely. So here we can see the socket fitment. You notice it kind of sticks out a little bit. Not sure why none of them ever flush mount. They're so long, they just, you know, they stick out a bit. It's like almost every brand that I've tried, that's just how they look. But anyway, take your ring. Make sure the upper part is up. So first what we do, make sure the clip is out. You index it so it's in there. And then push and lock into place. That is part one, and then part two is just installing the bulb. So this might seem counterintuitive, but the low beam should be facing up, because what it does, if you think about the reflection, it bounces off the top and then comes down. So now all you do is line it up and slide it in there, and you push. And the only problem with this friction fit is you don't really know when it's fully installed, and you have the chance to install it backwards, but that also gives you adjustment, so you can rotate this left and right to get the proper beam pattern you want. Which is nice, because I notice on, I think my driver's side, it sits like at a weird angle anyway, so this might be usable to our advantage. And if we come over here, look at that, I got an LED bulb. Sweet. Cool beans. And again, I know it's dark, or I know it's bright, but you can see very bright. You come up here and nothing. Excellent cutoff, no blindy. Let's see if I can find a radio station and do some static comparison real quick. Alright, so here we are jamming to some tunes. So this is a very strong station here. This is local. Turn the headlights on. No difference. Now let's go for a farther station. This is about an hour away in Philly. I'm in New Jersey, on the coast. Headlights on. Nothing. Headlights off. Okay. So there you go. Now let's see how our new bulbs do. Okay, so here's with our new NAO brand bulbs. Here's the strong station. Everything is okay. Next up, here's Philly. Yep, same old bullshit. Oh well. That is generally going to be the biggest problem with these cheaper Chinese bulbs, is radio interference. But anyway, there you have them. You see how that driver one's all cocked out? Tonight, when the sun goes down and I can see it better, I'm going to try and rotate it, see if we can get a better pattern out of that driver's side bulb. Alright, so here we are taking ourselves a nice little cruise. We're going to try to adjust this so it's a little more accurate. Come on. Come on. There you go. That's pretty much what I see. So you can see that the Civic's beam pattern leaves a lot to be desired. Here's the high beams. Oh look, that almost looks like what low beams should be. Lovely. Maybe that's a little unfair. I can see farther than the camera can. Let's bump that up a little bit. Up. There's some oncoming. So you can see the signs. Honestly, I mean, they feel a little soft, but they kind of feel like every other LED headlight I've tried so far. They're pretty much identical. Color pattern is decent, if not maybe the slightest tint warm, but you know, it's white enough. So if your vehicle has like actually good headlight housings, I think you'll enjoy them. Besides the radio interference, they do pretty well. They last longer than halogens, they're brighter than halogens. They're not as good in the rain, but besides that, pretty happy with them. Alright, so here we can see the wonderful, wonderful pattern of the Honda Civic. Isn't it glorious? And there's the high beams. Kind of craptacular. Alright, so this is actually pretty cool. I think you'll like this. So that's what our beam pattern looks like right now. And if I rotate it, you can see how it changes. So the interesting thing is, since this isn't a permanent mount, like I can kind of wiggle the bulb up and down. I think that's just moving the metal bracket though. Now the interesting thing is, because this is a fan design, the back of the housing is still, you know, you can comfortably touch that, which is nice. I've been driving this for, you know, probably half an hour. Not really a big deal. Oh, this one's a lot harder to twist for some reason. I wonder if the other one's pushed in all the way. You can see this one's a little lower. This one we can try and get it to a point farther onto street signs and things like that by rotating it to the right a little bit. You can see it already kind of has a bit of that natural look to it, but it's kind of neat. It'd be nice if it was a little higher up though. That's not a fault of the bulb though, just these craptacular housings. Alright, so this is a 2014 Honda CR-V we're going to try and this has the daytime running light feature that uses the main bulb. So let's see what happens when we turn the car on. So as you can see, the headlight is the main source of our running light. So when we turn that down, you can see it's dim. It's definitely brighter than the the regular bulb, but it's nothing too ridiculous. Alright, turn the headlights on. Alright, so that's with the headlights on. You can see the color temperature is obviously a lot wider because it's LED, and it's also brighter. Okay, that's what we're expecting. Yeah. So that's the low beam, has a wonderful cutoff. Not really anything to complain about. And what do the high beams look like? That's the high beams. Not bad. So let's see here. So that's our halogen. I'm going to turn this down. So that's the halogen. and that's the LED. Not gonna lie, the halogen seems like it pierces a little better in the dark. But the LED has more like distance to it. Interesting. Not bad though. Not bad. They definitely look a lot better in newer housings when they actually have a, you know, proper beam pattern to them. Yeah. So this is what it looks like with just the running lights on. You can turn the headlights on if you want. And that's the headlights. Wow. Yours has such a nice pattern. Holy shit. The ones in the Civic look like ass. You see like 15 feet in front of you and then that's it.
Oh my god, I can see so much.
That looks so much nicer. Ah, I'm pissed. Now I want to get new fucking housings for the Civic. That looks so nice.
What does the pattern mean?
So the light pattern is how the light is actually, you know, reflected onto the road. If you notice, you have a really nice cutoff. You can see it, like when you hit bumps, you can see the way that the light cuts off on the trees and everything. On mine, the light pattern like shines down really badly, so you can't see anything in front of you.
Angel's is really nice.
Well, yeah, he's also got a fucking charger.
But it's so sharp, and like his lights go out so far. I mean, these go out further than my other ones did. Like my other headlights.
What do the high beams look like? Wow, look at that. You can see
I was
all the
gonna show
street
you around
signs.
the corner when this light isn't there.
Yeah.
But with my other headlights, I couldn't even see like to the woods.
Jeez.
Like it was so bad. Like I have to like drive like this sometimes. The only way I can see is by turning my head, like my high beams on. So like, there's this, and there's that.
Wow. That's not bad. Jeez. Sweet. Another win for LEDs.